Wherever you are, take a few moments to immerse yourself in this story. It might change your perspective on life forever. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled among rolling hills, there lived a young man named Hiro. Known throughout the village for his restless and overactive mind, Hiro was constantly trapped in his thoughts. He would endlessly analyze the past and worry about the future, never able to find peace in the present. His mind was always cluttered, and despite his best efforts, he could never feel at ease. One day Hiro heard about a renowned Zen master who lived high up on a distant mountain. It was said that this Zen master held the secret to inner peace and tranquility, a kind of calmness that Hiro desperately longed for. Intrigued and filled with hope, Hiro decided to embark on a long and arduous journey to seek the master's wisdom. The path was challenging, and Hiro had to face many obstacles along the way, but his desire for peace drove him forward. After many days of tiresome travel, Hiro finally reached the top of the mountain. There, in a serene and quiet garden, sat the Zen master, deep in meditation. His eyes were closed, his expression peaceful. Hiro approached the master, bowed respectfully, and said, "Master, I have come seeking your guidance. My mind is always restless, and I desperately yearn for inner peace. Can you teach me how to empty my mind?" The Zen master slowly opened his eyes, looking at Hiro with a calm, compassionate smile. "Empty your mind, you say? Very well. I will teach you," he replied softly. The master then led Hiro to a small courtyard within the garden. In the center of the courtyard there was a large stone basin filled to the brim with clear water. Next to the basin was a small, empty bowl. The master picked up a ladle, dipped it into the basin, and poured water into the small bowl. "Now, Hiro," the master said, "your task is to empty this basin completely by transferring all the water into the smaller bowl without spilling a single drop." Hiro looked at the task before him, puzzled and doubtful. How could he possibly empty such a large basin into such a small bowl without making a mess? However, Hiro accepted the challenge and began scooping water from the basin. Hours passed, and Hiro continued to diligently scoop and pour the water. But no matter how hard he tried, the basin always seemed to remain full. Frustration and doubt crept into his mind, making him feel even more restless than before. His thoughts raced, his patience wore thin, and he felt utterly defeated. The Zen master, observing Hiro's struggle from a distance, walked over and gently placed a hand on Hiro's shoulder. "Hiro, my dear student," the master said softly, "you are trying so hard to empty the basin, but you have forgotten the first and most crucial step. To empty the basin, you must first empty your mind." Hiro looked up at the master, his eyes filled with confusion. "Master, how do I empty my mind?" he asked. The master smiled warmly and replied, "Let go of your worries, your fears, and your attachments. Stop focusing on what might happen or what has already passed. Focus only on the task in front of you. Be fully present in this moment, and everything else will follow." Hiro took a deep breath and decided to let go of his frustration. He stopped trying so hard and instead began to focus on each individual scoop of water, paying attention to the sound of the water, the feeling of the ladle in his hand, and the movement of each scoop. Gradually, as Hiro entered a state of mindfulness, his mind became clear and his movements grew effortless. As Hiro continued, something miraculous happened. The basin, which had seemed impossible to empty before, began to drain. With each scoop, the water flowed more easily into the small bowl, and the basin gradually emptied. Finally, after hours of mindful focus, Hiro poured the last drop of water into the small bowl. He turned to the Zen master with amazement and gratitude in his eyes. The master smiled and said, "You see, Hiro, when you empty your mind, you allow the universe to flow through you. You become one with the task at hand, and everything falls into place naturally." In that moment, Hiro realized that the peace and clarity he had been seeking all along had been within him from the very beginning. It wasn't about controlling his thoughts or his surroundings, but about letting go and being fully present in each moment. From that day forward, Hiro carried the wisdom of the Zen master in his heart, and he found the inner peace that he had always longed for. You too can be like Hiro. Learn to let go, empty your mind, and allow life to flow through you. And watch how everything falls into place when you do.